Ahmet Zogu was born in Burgajet on October 8, 1895. After the death of his father Zemal Pasha Zogu, he became the head of his household, being supported by his mother, Sadije Toptani, who later became the Queen Mother. At this time, 13-year-old Ahmet Zogu thus became the head of the province of Mati. As a young man, he was sent to the French high school in Galatasaray in Turkey to complete his studies. In 1912, Zogu left Turkey to return to Albania, after the alarming news that came from his country. At the age of 17, Zogu took up arms and at the head of 2,000 trusted people went and fought to defend Shkodra surrounded by Serbs and Montenegrins. Despite his young age, Zogu was invited to participate in the ceremony of the Declaration of Independence on November 28, 1912. Zogu takes part in the fighting against the Serbs in Kruje, where he achieves a victory with his men, refusing the help of the Austro-Hungarians. In 1917, an imperial commission led by Prince Windisgratz was sent to Mat and offered Zogut the rank of colonel of the imperial army and invited him to join the Austrian forces. The bird refuses, saying, "Austria has come to Albania as a friend to repel the Serbian army. At the same time, as our friend, she has no right to interfere in our internal problems. Albania is a neutral country and its neutrality must be respected." Under the pretext of the death of Emperor Joseph, a delegation headed by Zogu leaves for Austria, where Zogu is kept in Austria under house arrest, and despite Zogu's protests, he would only be released after the amnesty of 1918. At this moment, 1919–1920, Zogu returns from exile there, after which he leaves with a group of people to participate in the Lushnia Congress. Zogu declares in this Congress, "We will not allow our enemies to enter our lands as in a house without a master. We will counter their rifles and cannons with the fortifications of our troops." Appointed by the Delvina government, Minister of the Interior at the age of 25, Zogu arrives at the head of the Albanian troops to defeat the Italian troops in Vlora. After the resignation of Prime Minister Vrioni and Pandeli Evangeli, the Prime Minister and commander of the Albanian army are appointed. On December 2, 1922, he addressed this message: "I am convinced that the new government will respond to the wishes of the people, as well as their desire to create a Western, fully civilized state. The government will never hinder the rights of citizens and the freedom of the press. Albania is a small country and its policy should be clear, transparent and feasible. We support the neighboring countries and demand that these countries fully and simultaneously respect the independence and sovereignty of our country." In 1924, facing the tension created by the opposition of Noli, Zogu took refuge in Yugoslavia, on April 20. On December 24, Zogu led the liberation troops and arrived in Tirana, where he was acclaimed by the people. January 5, 1925, Zogu is appointed by the Regency Council established in Lushnia, to form a new government. January 21, Zogu presents a draft constitution that makes Albania a republic. January 31, Zogu is declared President of the Republic of Albania. 1925, after gathering 540 chiefs of the Krajini of Shkodra, Dibra and Kosovo and presenting his program to you, they promised to support him and serve him with dignity. On September 1, 1928, constitutional changes proclaimed Albania monarchy and Zogun king of Albania. This was done to make Zogu the king of the Albanians in Kosovo and Kamari. On November 27, 1926 and November 21, 1927, two pacts were signed with Italy. These pacts have a political, economic and military character with a duration of 20 years. May 2, 1938, Zogu I marries Miss Countess Geraldine Apolloni, Hungarian. April 5, 1939, Zogu convenes the National Assembly to declare a state of war. April 7. Zogu leaves Albania. After this episode, Zogu and his family go through Greece, Romania, Poland, the Baltic countries, Sweden, Norway to reach France in April 1939 with his court of 60 people. May 10, 1940. With the entry of the Nazis into France, the vicissitudes do not end for Zogu. He is forced to leave Orleans, Royan, Bordeaux, St. Jean de Luz, where he leaves for England, where King George I grants him political asylum. Disappointed by the lack of support from the West, he leaves London for Egypt in January 1946, where he is welcomed by King Farouk I. January 7, 1947, Zog, after an agreement with the ballistas, is elected as president of the military junta and having as his deputy Mr. Mng and Kryaziu, and secretary Gaji Gogo. Creates Company 4000 with the aim of training patriots to overthrow the communist government. 1951, Zog goes to the USA to discuss and cooperate with the CIA for the overthrow of the communist government in Tirana. By order of Zogut, Company 4000 is disbanded after several failures and the killing of soldiers, and later it was found out that one of the American commanders, Kim Philby, was a Soviet agent. In 1954, Zogu left Egypt after the fall of King Farouk and Nasser's rise to power. The bird was born in Cannes, France. September 5, 1957, Zogu declares Laker the heir to the royal crown. April 9, 1961, Ahmed Zogu died in Sursna Hospital near Paris at 4 p.m. at the age of 65.